sector. Scan 7 complete. The nuclear fission backfill with the public. Right. Maybe I don't like loud noises. Did you have to attend solar assembly as translator? Yes. They love the sound of their own voices, don't they?
Reading on 7725. Positive.
There it is. Looks like a cloud.
I've never seen a cloud like that.
But maybe one of those freak storms. Mars gets them at this time of the year, you know.
Then there would be something on the weather computer.
It's over Colony Research Base 4.
Call up their scanning tower.
No picture. No sound.
Let's move in for a closer look.
But aren't we supposed to call Tri-S and get permission?
Come on, Tempo. Call Tri-S.
Cloud's now stationary over base 4, sir.
If it is a cloud.
Sir, the computer confirms that it is a cloud.
Yeah, I know it's a cloud. I want to know what sort of a cloud and why. Machines, there's a lot to be said for the old days.
2511 on monitor, sir.
2511 to Tri-S. Do we have permission to land and find out what's happening, sir?
No, Tempo.
But, sir, we can easily get...
Don't argue.
Sir.
You'll like him when you get to know him better.
Really?
He used to be a solonaut.
Maybe it was easier then.
He must have heard you. The gyro's gone. Changing to secondary drive.
You have a reading of 3/6.
Compensator.
3/5, 5 in rising. 3/6, 5 in rising. We're being drawn into that cloud.
Operating gravity booster. Now.
3/7. Panels 27 and 32 arcing.
Gravity boost not responding.
There's a braking circuit, 8 and 15. 3/8. Fire control operating.
I can't hold her. Look.
I'll inform Tri-S.
.2511 reports explosions on research base 4.
All right, tell them to stand by for further orders.
Right.
Look.
Logic. I might have known it.
You are looking at the results of a minor ionic cloud. My latest invention. I control it through space, its speed, its direction. And when I wish, I can explode it.
I am responsible for the security in this solar system, Logic. This is an unjustifiable act of aggression.
I have made repeated requests to the Solar Assembly for the mineral rights on Mars to be restored to my solar system.
The Solar Assembly will never agree to your demands.
They must. Another bigger ionic cloud has been launched on a course that will take it over the capital of Mars.
There are 50,000 people in that city.
Agree to my terms, or I destroy the capital in 12 hours.
Set the galactic clock for countdown.
Earth time, sir?
Yes, Earth time. The etheric impulses were too strong for Logic to be teleporting from his own solar system. He must be nearer than that. Find him.
Oh, sir, the cloud will be over the capital in 11 hours, 58 minutes, 44 seconds.
Right.
I want Logic's position as quickly as possible.
Logic was calling from asteroid K137 in the asteroid belt. It's a meteorite observatory.
Alert the Solar Security Council and request immediate movement of security space fleet to the asteroid belt. Inform all the solar scopes in the sector. Which ones are they?
52, 1612, 2511, and 249. Those are the nearest. Only 2511 can get there before zero.
Investigate asteroid K137. Information follows.
It's been estimated that 3 buildings out of 5 have been destroyed.
Well, the Solar Assembly has ordered an emergency meeting. The Solar Security Council has ordered the Solar Space Fleet to the asteroid belt.
Good.
Estimated time of arrival, 0 plus 3 hours.
What's the point of sending it if it's going to be 3 hours late?
Well, the Security Council asks that you try to gain more time.
They don't know Logic.
Well, do you think the Assembly can agree to his demands?
They daren't. Logic wants a foothold on Mars. Once he gets that, then Earth and our solar system gets a dictator.
Asteroid K137 on monitor.
Right. Lock in for orbit.
There's something.
Where?
In the center. I'll magnify that section.
That's got nothing to do with meteor observation. Must be Logic's headquarters.
You think he explodes the cloud from there?
Let's move in for a closer look.
Solar scope now in Sector 5.
You know what to do.
Activate missile barrier.
We're out of range now. Switch off barrier.
Call Tri-S.
Listen to me, Tempo. And you, Power. The space fleet won't reach the asteroid belt in time. So you're on your own. You must go in and destroy Logic's HQ before he explodes the cloud.
I thought you said I'd like him when I got to know him better. How can we beat missiles?
I don't know. If we can make Logic think he's hit us, we'll use a smokescreen. Switch to stationary control.
Well, that's a good idea, if it works. I always thought to be a Solonaut was to be one of a team. And where are the others?
Right?
Right.
space stabilizer.
Well, try 5/7.
Are you all right now?
Yeah.
There's more cover over there.
How long have you been here?
2 days. I've been out collecting meteor samples from other asteroids. I work for Meteor Control. When I got back, I found the Logis had destroyed the observatory.
How many Logis are there?
I don't know. They use a gravabile when they patrol.
Go check on the disk.
And when they don't find our bodies...
We better make sure it's destroyed.
Yes, you can use a delta bomb. Well, there's no reason for us all to go, is there? Of course, you have to study very hard if you want to be a solonaut. I remember my first selection board. I went into the room, and there they all were. 9 computers. I thought to myself, what is it?
They're opening the airlock doors. It's a gravabile. It's going towards the disk.
Look, it's going through the airlock doors.
Let's go!
Sector 3. Sector 3. Sector 3, all clear. Sector 3, all clear.
Get back!
That should keep him transitized for at least 6 hours.
Okay, take off your helmets.
The Solar Security Council requests you to attend an emergency sitting to discuss your case. My claims at the Solar Assembly have been repeatedly blocked by Earth and its allied planets. I will wait no longer for what is properly mine.
You will gain nothing by this distraction.
I will gain nothing from meeting the Security Council. You have 13 minutes.
These are localized delta bombs.
Set them to explode in 10 minutes.
Right.
That'll just give us time to plant them and get out.
Can't I do anything?
Yeah. Tell me your name.
Candia.
Well, that's a nice name.
Can I help?
Only by staying where you are.
You can't leave me here.
All right. You take her. I'm after Logic. Can you carry these? Oh, charming. Hey, what's that?
They must have seen Pa.
Oh, I got him.
What should we do?
Finish planting these. Come on. That's the last one. We got 6 minutes before the bombs blow. We must find Pa. Come on. It's no use.
No, don't touch it.
Keep still.
Go on, you haven't got long. Go on.
One solar node at least has displayed some ingenuity. Dispose of this.
Corridor 9, Corridor 9. 2 Delta bombs disposed of in Corridor 9. 1 Delta bomb disposed of in Corridor 7.
There will be others. Find them. in this satellite. I control the cloud. 40 seconds. Phase 3. The cloud is now activated. It only remains for me to detonate. In 25 seconds.
1. Now we're going to take you to face the solar assembly.
If you can.
Cloud structure changing, sir. Cloud dispersing, sir.
That's the end of the cloud.
But not of logic.
Security Space Fleet will rendezvous with you in 2 hours' time.
Yes, sir.
You've done well, 2511. Now, may I remind you that Trias regulations forbid the carrying of female passengers? Space Fleet will relieve you of her.
When you think of the future, you likely envision the remarkable technologies that you've seen in comic books and films. You may begin to picture flying cars, trains driven by electromagnets, or household robots that will see to your every need. While modern scientists agree that many of these inventions are either unlikely or unnecessary, it may surprise you to learn what the future could actually hold. Imagine being able to share your thoughts with millions of people at once, simply by typing them on a keyboard and sending them through the air. Think of what life will be like when all of the many fixtures of an office, including a typewriter and an entire Rolodex, can fit within a device smaller than a loaf of bread. Consider the vacation plans you could make when a single trip on an aeroplane is all that's needed to visit anywhere on Earth. Yes, the future certainly looks bright, but it isn't without its darker sides. According to some predictions, obesity will likely run rampant, and political corruption will become so commonplace as to be accepted. People with nothing entertaining or informative to say will broadcast their demands for attention, and once beloved performers will become pushers of snake oil. Perhaps worst of all will be the emergence of a deadly and potentially devastating disease. Think of the last time that you contracted influenza. You were likely bedridden for days, having no appetite or desire to play games. Experts predict that by the year 2020, a new virus will rise, spreading from somewhere in Asia to the rest of the world. And with international travel being available to even the most common citizen, a sickness which would have been contained in years past will quickly spread to all corners of the globe. Worse still, the fantastic technologies of the era, the instantaneous communication and the ability to spread misinformation will cause undue panic and unrest. While you may think that we have decades to prepare, the frightening truth is that we have already become susceptible to the spread of this upcoming pandemic. The people preparing our food will do so without washing their hands, and the declining standards for common hygiene will cause the release of marauding clouds of infection. Even today, children would prefer to attempt the carefree murder of their playmates rather than lecture one another about covering their mouths when they cough. So how do we reverse this trend? How do we avoid the coming catastrophe? Many doctors would suggest that we simply need to learn and practice better health habits, but that may not be enough. As it turns out, there is a solution. But first, a word from our sponsor.
Well, no wonder my laundry bill is so high. All those napkins last week.
Doeskin.
What?
You should use Doeskin dinner napkins.
Paper napkins? Oh, no.
I don't mean thin little paper napkins, but Doeskin dinner napkins. You'll love them.
Everybody loves Doeskin dinner napkins. These soft linen-like napkins are 2-ply in smart formal fold, in white and in beautiful pastel colors. And Doeskin dinner napkins are big. They cover your whole lap, and they stay put. What's more, they last throughout the meal, and they leave no lint.
But they are nice. And they would save my linen.
They save you money, too. Doeskin dinner napkins cost only 49 cents for 5 dozen. That's a fraction of a penny apiece.
All right, Dottie.
You'll find Doeskin dinner napkins, Doeskin facial tissues, and other Doeskin products at your favorite grocery, supermarket, department store, or drugstore. Look for the brown dispenser box.
Doeskin.
And now, the answer about how to avoid the deadly virus set to sweep the world.
First she squeezes the tomatoes, then she squeezes the melons, and now she's squeezing the Charmin. Please don't squeeze the Charmin.
But this is new Charmin bathroom tissue. It's so squeezably soft.
Mrs. Logan.
I just can't resist it.
If you only knew, Mrs. Logan. I can't resist it myself. I like to sneak a squeeze on the sly. Squeezably soft. And that fragrant Charmin is added. Nice touch.
Mr. Whipple, please, don't squeeze the Charmin.
Don't squeeze the Charmin in the store. Squeeze it at home. New Charmin bathroom tissue. Squeezably soft.
Once upon a time, there was a king named Midas. He was a very greedy king indeed. The one thing he loved most in the world was gold. The one thing he had the most of was gold. And the one thing he wanted more of was gold, gold, gold. So he sent his tax collectors into the kingdom to do his gold gathering for him. As the people grew poorer and poorer from being taxed, Midas grew richer and richer. Finally, the people were reduced to living on a diet of turnips. As a result, King Midas began to get the funny feeling that people didn't like him very much.
I need to do something to make people like me. Then I can tax them even more.
So the king called a meeting of his advisors, Bobble, Bangle, Bede, and Benson.
Gentlemen, I must be made popular.
Well, sire, I'm just talking off the top of my thatch.
What is it, Benson?
Well, what about lowering the taxes? We could... That wasn't it, huh?
The next day, the king called another meeting of his advisors, Bobble, Bangle, and Bede.
Well, let's put this idea on the rack, see how it stretches, KM. We'll point out your warm human qualities.
What warm human qualities?
Well, you must have some.
Like what?
Dogs. Everybody likes dogs.
I hate dogs!
I can see it now. Heralds all over the kingdom, posters on every wall. Midas loves mutts.
Hear ye, hear ye.
This day, King Midas will free all dogs in the royal dog pound.
Sure enough, as the people watched, the king let all the dogs loose.
Maybe he's not all bad. Animals like him.
Your Majesty, would you like to pet Tweaky here?
Oh, how nice. A lovely pussycat. Pussycat!
And the king was instantly buried in a snarling mass of dogs.
Get off, you mutts! Get off! Oh, I hate dogs!
Just as I thought. A fake.
And the people once more pelted the king with turnips. Before, they had just disliked him. Now they despised him. So the next day, Midas called another meeting of his advisors, Bobble and Bangle.
All right, now what?
Well, let's put this in a crossbow and see how it shoots. Midas, you'll slay a dragon.
Me?
You.
Ooh, good! Hear ye, king to fight dragon!
Maybe there's something good about Midas after all.
Well, on the appointed day, King Midas strode forth to do battle with the fire-breathing dragon, which, of course, wasn't a real dragon at all.
Avaunt, foul fiend!
Unfortunately, as Midas swung, the head flew off his axe and felled a nearby tree.
Another fake!
So the people again let fly with turnips.
Boo, boo, boo!
By now, they didn't just despise the king, they actually hated him. Next day, the king called a meeting of his advisor, Bobble.
Well, Bobble, what now?
Well, sire, let's just throw this in the moat, see if it floats. What about giving you the golden touch?
Isn't that expensive?
Well, not if you just use this spray gun and this cheap gold paint.
Good thinking, Bobble.
The word spread in a flash.
King has gold touch. Midas 24-carat monarch. Big free demonstration.
People came from all over to watch the king turn things into gold. Hats, canes, bushes, even rocks.
That's gold?
Looks like gold?
Yeah.
Feels like gold?
Yeah.
The king says it's gold?
Yeah.
It's gold.
Hooray for King Midas!
Well, the king sprayed more and more things until everything in the kingdom looked as if it were made of gold. Midas, of course, was very popular, but since everybody had more make-believe gold than he could use, gold began to lose its value. Soon, it took a wheelbarrow full of gold just to buy one turnip. But back in his castle, the king was very happy indeed.
Bobble, you've done it. The people like me, and I'm still the richest man in the kingdom.
Not quite, sire.
Huh?
The country has gone off the gold standard.
What? Well, what is the standard now?
Turnips.
Turnips?
Yes, turnips it was. And of course, everybody had some turnips. Everybody except King Midas. With nothing but gold, he was the poorest man in his own kingdom.
You mean I'm broke, Bobble?
Looks like, sire.
So the next day, the king called a meeting of his advisors. And of course, nobody was there but him. Today, King Midas lives in a very modest castle on a little side street. He still has lots and lots of friends, and of course, he still has the golden touch.
This is the Oaks, a house in the country which I rented for the summer. As an author, I write tales of mystery and murder. But the things that happened in this house were far more fantastic than any story I've ever had published. I brought a staff of servants from my city apartment, and my maid Lizzie Allen, who had been with me nearly 20 years. This is the Oaks, a house in the country which I rented for the summer. As an author, I write tales of mystery and murder. But the things that happened in this house were far more fantastic than any story I've ever had published. I brought a staff of servants from my city apartment, and my maid Lizzie Allen, who had been with me nearly 20 years. Lizzie?
Yes, Miss Cornelia.
Is the car ready?
It's at the door. Look, Miss Cornelia, them servants you brought from the apartment are talking about walking out on us.
Really? Well, I know they don't like it here, but I didn't think it was that bad.
Well, they've been hearing things about the killer that the police call the Bat and the murders that he committed here this past winter. Now people are saying that he's back again.
Well, how can they be sure of that? Has he committed another crime?
No, not yet, but that ain't saying that he won't. Here's something else. You've heard about the bats they have here. Animal bats, the kind that fly.
Yes, yes.
Look what it says in this magazine. This is a report from the State Health Department, and it says some of them bats is rabid.
Well.
And that ain't all. Now there's a rumor going around that it was the bat himself, the killer, I mean, that released the rabid bats in this neighborhood.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
Well, the housekeeper, the cook, the butler, and the upstairs maid don't think so.
Well, I can't help but they think. If hysterical nonsense like that can scare them out of their good jobs, it's their loss, not mine. Come on, Lizzie, I've got to get to the bank. Drive directly to Zenith Bank, Warner. I'm afraid we'll have to hurry. It's near closing time.
I'll get you there, Miss Van Gorder.
Thanks again.
Miss Van Gorder.
How do you do, Mr. Barry?
How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. You remember Lizzie Allen?
Of course. Hello, Miss Allen.
How do you do?
So you're spending the summer with us again?
Yes, yes. I've leased the Oaks, the home of your bank president, John Fleming.
I heard you had. I was surprised.
Why? Is there something the matter with it?
No. I was surprised because Mr. Fleming said he would never rent it.
Oh? Well, I rented it from his nephew, Mark Fleming, who has the real estate office here. He said his uncle would be gone the entire summer.
Well, that's right. Mr. Fleming's in the North Woods now with his physician, Dr. Wells. Oh, pardon me. Dale, I want you to meet my wife. We were married at Christmas time.
That must have been nice.
Believe me, it was. Oh, here she is.
Oh, dear.
My
How
wife,
do you
Miss Van Gorder, Miss Allen.
How do you do, Mrs.
How do you
Bailey?
do? Cornelia Van Gorder.
Yes.
Oh, well, I've read every murder mystery you've ever written. I just adored that weird one, The Private Morgue of Dr. X, even though it gave me the shivers.
Only the shivers? Scared hell out of me.
Oh.
Well, I really mean that Miss Corney killed them off in that one.
When you refer to my books, please don't call me Miss Corney.
Pardon me, Mr. Bailey. Mr. Hines is here to see you.
Oh, yes. Excuse me, please.
Don't be strangers now.
No, no,
I
we
should say
won't.
not.
Oh, so you're a bride.
Well, not quite.
Not since Christmas.
No, I'm sure I've seen you. Well, I used to be my husband's secretary here in the bank.
Of course I remember.
May I welcome our most distinguished visitor back to Zenith?
Oh, that's very charming, but,
Lieutenant Anderson.
Lieutenant Anderson, of course. Chief of Detectives of the Zenith Police Department. This is Miss Allen.
Miss Allen.
How do you do?
Lieutenant Anderson is one of our favorite citizens. He's on the bank's board of directors.
Not bad for a policeman.
You must have made a good thing of it.
Well, I saved my money, if that's what you mean.
It's near closing time, and I've got some business in the safe deposit vault. Please come and see me, Mrs. Bailey.
Oh, I'd love to.
And you, Lieutenant.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Nice to meet you. My, what a charming woman. She moved into the Oaks just the other day.
That house is a proper setting for a writer of mysteries.
Oh, it certainly is. Vic, what's the matter?
Come in here, both of you. Andy, we're in trouble. Wendell Hines came in to pick up $350,000 worth of bonds that we were holding as collateral for a loan. They were kept in our special vault. Mr. Fleming and I are the only officers of the bank who have access to that vault.
So?
The Hines bonds are gone. That's not all. Other negotiable securities are missing. From what I can gather, short of a careful check, the bank has been looted of over $1 million worth of securities.
You'll have to notify Fleming.
I wish I could talk to him. Unfortunately, he and Dr. Wells are deep in the woods. They can't be reached by phone.
What is it?
I thought I heard someone on the path coming from the lake. Had an idea it might be that guide of ours.
Oh, Sam won't show up until morning. It's a 20-mile canoe trip from here to civilization.
5 will get you 10. Sam has a message for me.
I thought you told him at the bank not to bother you.
I did, but they'll bother me. Doctor.
Yes, John.
What would you do for $500,000?
Anything short of murder.
Why not murder?
Too messy.
Too great a risk?
For $500,000? Yes.
I pinched $1 million from the bank. Well, I'm not kidding. I embezzled it.
Not that I think you wouldn't do it if you thought you could get away with it.
I got away with it. I'm not talking about currency. I took negotiable securities that could be converted into cash. I have the cash in 10s, 20s, and 100s.
Well, I'm your doctor, not your lawyer. Why tell me this?
You'll find out why.
Who's going to take the blame for the robbery?
Bailey, the cashier. They'll never suspect me.
I like Bailey.
Well, so do I. I love the guy. I gave him his first chance.
He has a lovely little wife.
Charming girl. Was the best man.
Where's the $1 million?
In my family's tomb in Zenith. In the crypt with my father's casket.
I don't buy that, John.
No?
No. You forget that I had you in charge when you were a very sick man. When you raved in delirium. And I heard you talk about a hidden room. Now, where else could you put a hidden room except in that mansion you built?
That white elephant you call the Oaks.
Look, everyone knows I have a bad heart. Now, who would doubt it if you wired the bank directors that my heart had failed, that I had fallen from a great height here in the woods, and that I was badly smashed up? You could ship the body back for burial and instruct them not to open the casket due to the condition of its contents.
Well, you realize, of course, that we'd have to have a body to put in that casket, which means that we'd have to deal with an undertaker at this end.
Of course.
Well, where do we get a body?
Couldn't we provide one of our own? How about Sam?
Sam, our guide?
Sam weighs about as much as I do. He's practically a hermit. He wouldn't be missed for a long time.
The local undertaker would know him.
Not if we made him look as if he'd been in a serious accident.
But if Bailey's going to take the blame, why'd he have to do this?
A jury might acquit him. In that case, I'd be a logical suspect. I could disappear, of course, but it's safer if they think I'm dead.
What if I don't go for this deal?
In that case, it would be too bad.
You mean you'd kill me?
What else could I do? Now that I've told you about the $1 million, I'd say you were shot in a hunting accident. Now, look, Doctor, if you can find another body instead of Sam's, it's all right with me. There's $500,000 in it for you.
I'll do my best.
I smell smoke.
So do I. What's that noise?
Look, Doctor, the woods are on fire. It's coming this way. We've got to get out of here. Out the back way.
We will. As soon as I provide that body we were talking about.
Yes, Miss Cornelia. There's a storm coming up, and it's gonna be a snorter. The wind nearly blew the door off its hinges.
Well, that noise blew my game higher than a kite. I think I've lost some of the cars.
Oh, I'll get them for you.
Oh, I see you found the paper.
Drat that paper boy, scooting by on his bicycle, just chucked it into a clump of bushes and let it go at that. For land's sake, Mr. Vic Bailey's been arrested.
Oh?
I think.
Victor Bailey, vice president and cashier of the Zenith Bank, was arraigned before United States Commissioner Alvin Fielding, charged with the embezzlement of over $1 million. I can't believe Vic Bailey had anything to do with that robbery. Oh, well, I see our landlord is home again.
Landlord?
Mr. Fleming. Dr. Malcolm Wells is back in town with the body of John Fleming, president of the Zenith Bank, who was killed in a forest fire. Mr. Fleming will be laid to rest in his family's tomb on Friday.
And I hope he stays there.
Well, why shouldn't he?
Well, this is his house. And ever since he died, some funny things have happened here.
For instance?
The housekeeper, the cook, and the butler said that they heard strange noises at night. And the upstairs maid swore that she met a man without a face coming up the back stairs.
Oh, so that's why they quit and left me to run this place without a staff.
They didn't tell you, Miss Corney, but the truth is they were scared to stay.
But you're still here, Lizzie. Haven't you seen anything?
No. No, and even if I had, I ain't afraid of ghosts. They're afraid of me. Honest, Miss Corney, a spiritualist told me once that ghosts was allergic to me. But this Bat feller they keep talking about in the paper, I guess he'd be different.
No, I don't think you'd have the same effect on him.
Oh, dear. What are they're trying to do? Drive people away from this part of the country?
Why, what does it say about the bat?
Specialty seems to be killing women. My goodness, 2 of them in one night. All his victims died the same way, like their throats had been ripped open with steel claws.
That's a charming little caper. I'll have to try it sometime.
In a book. That ain't nothing, just something bumping against the house. That's just the wind banging a door. Pay no attention to it. Listen to this. One of his victims, who lived for a moment after she was found, described the bat as a man without a face. Honest, Miss Corney, I think that woman must have been exaggerating. That's just that heavy tapestry at the top of the stairs.
I know. I've heard it before on a windy night. But that sounds as if there was someone on the stairs. I know there isn't. At least there shouldn't be.
There ain't. Them's just the noises you hear in any old house on a windy night. It says here that the bat never leaves no fingerprints.
That's understandable. Having no face, he probably has no fingers either. Lizzie! And that, I suppose, is the cat dropping its dentures.
No, I don't think so. But I think it's something should be looked into. Now, who chucked him down here?
The wind, I hope. There must be a window open up there. No, Lizzie. Let him lay. Let him sleep it off. I hope the power lines don't go down, put the lights out. Now, we'll check the windows in the living room and draw the curtains, and then we'll go to bed.
Yes, ma'am. I won't be a minute. Gordy! Oh!
What's that?
Oh, when I went to get the tape, I turned the latch off. I forgot to turn it on again. He's out there. He was coming in. He might have got you.
Oh, but he didn't, and he's still out there, thanks to you. Now, you hurry now, and we'll call the police.
No, I won't leave you, Miss Corney.
Are you okay?
Yes, ma'am, I'm okay.
Okay.
Operator?
Give me the police department, please.
Zenith Police Department.
This is Cornelia Van Gorder. I'm living at the Oaks.
We know about that, Miss Van Gorder.
Just a moment ago, a man tried to force his way into this house.
You're not alone there, are you? What about your servants?
Well, I have none except my chauffeur, and he's away. He won't be back until the morning. Now, there's only 2 of us here tonight, and we're going to lock ourselves in my room. Now, if any of your men see anything, will you have them call me?
I'll send officers over there right away.
Oh, thank you very much. Come on, Lizzie. We're going to sleep in my room. Well, nothing can get at us in this room now, I think. This door seems good and solid.
Like the door to a tomb.
I think that couch will be comfortable. There's some extra bedding, you know.
Yes, ma'am.
Closet. Let's see now.
so good.
Oh, what's that?
That, my good woman, is a booby trap. If anybody tries to open this transom, this will be knocked off, and we'll hear it fall.
I forgot my night things, my robe, my gown, and my slippers. I'll go get them now.
Now, wait a minute, Lizzie. I'll go with you.
Now, don't you bother, Miss Cornelia. My room's just down the hall.
Lizzie, I told you to wait.
It's all right. I'll only be a second. Get in here. Get in here.
Yes?
Miss Van Gorder?
Yes?
Zenith Police Department. There's a police car just outside your house, and the officers in it have reported that there's no sign of a prowler anywhere on the grounds.
Oh, the man's inside now. He's in the hall, just outside my bedroom. Have your men break through the kitchen door and search this place from top to bottom.
Okay, Miss Van Gorder. Sit tight.
I will. I have a gun, and I know how to use it. Relax, Lizzie. The police did a good job. They couldn't find anybody in here.
But we both saw him, Miss Cornelia.
All right. So he got away. But there are men on guard outside, so just try and get some rest. There's nothing can get at us here. You've had a nightmare.
Maybe I did. But there was a bat in it, and it bit me. It flew in that closet.
Oh, good gracious, Lizzie, you're right. Oh. Operator, will you get me Dr. Malcolm Wells' office, please? No, I don't know his number, and I have no phone book up here, but this is an emergency. Will you connect me with his office, please?
Oh, dear, I'm going to get the rabies.
Hello?
Hello? Dr. Wells' office?
This is a call service. Dr. Wells is out at the moment, but if you'll give me your name and number, I'll try to locate him.
Well, this is Miss Van Gorder of the Oaks. My maid has just been bitten by a bat that may be rabid, and she must have treatment as soon as possible. And I was told that Dr. Wells was the nearest physician.
I'll try to find him for you, and if I can't, I'll send you another doctor.
Oh, well, thank you very much. Oh, he's out on a case.
Oh,
I hope it's not a delivery. A baby, I mean. They can be terribly complicated.
it never bothered me none.
Oh, Lizzie, you never had a baby.
Of course I didn't. That's why they never bothered me.
Oh, does it hurt, huh?
Little.
you there, Dr. Wells? This is the operator. Your call service is on the wire. It's an emergency.
This is Dr. Wells.
This is your call service, Doctor.
Oh, hello. I was just doing an experiment. I left the receiver off.
That's what I thought, but I kept trying. Miss Van Gorder at the Oaks called and said that her maid had been bitten by a bat, and she's afraid it might be rabbit.
What? Oh, all right. Tell her I'll be right over there.
Who's there?
Dr. Wells.
Come in.
Good evening.
Oh, I'm so glad they found you, Doctor.
Well, I reached my office shortly after you called. How is your maid? Is she in any pain?
No, she doesn't seem to be.
Did the bat get away?
No, I believe it's still in my bedroom.
Oh, good. I'll want to examine it. There you go, Miss Allen. Now you'll feel better?
Doctor, have I got the rabies?
Well, I can tell you better after I've examined the bat's brain under a microscope.
That thing's got a brain?
Oh, you'd be surprised. Well, where is it?
I think the little darling is in that closet.
Oh. You know, it's a pity you leased this house, Miss Van Gorder.
Why a pity?
Well, my dear lady, I don't want to alarm you, but...
Oh, well, after tonight, nothing can alarm me.
Yes, I understand. It must have been terrifying. So many unexplainable things have happened here. There's something about the place. Your servants must have sensed it when they walked out on you. An apprehension of disaster. Well, let's see. Aha! Yes. There he is. All right, now, take it easy. Nobody's going to hurt you. Quiet now. Quiet. He looks quite normal. Doesn't seem to be sick at all.
Oh, ain't that nice? I've been worried about him.
Well, you should be. From his appearance, I'd say that he doesn't have any infection. In which case, you've had a narrow escape. Now, you take one of those tablets I left for you, and I'll guarantee you a good night. And I'll drop in on you tomorrow.
Oh, thanks for everything, Doctor.
Now, don't worry. I can find my way out.
Oh, I know you can, but do let me help you.
Oh, don't forget that once I'm gone, you'll have to climb those stairs alone.
Oh, I'm all right. I'm armed now.
Can you shoot one of those things without shutting your eyes?
Oh, Doctor, there are guns in every book I've ever written. I don't write about things I'm unfamiliar with. Lock the door, Lizzie.
Good night.
Yes, ma'am. Good night, Doctor.
Accident?
No, the wind blew him down.
Oh.
I think.
Oh. Did you know that young Mark Fleming leased you this house without notifying his uncle?
No, I didn't.
Well, it doesn't matter now. John Fleming is dead, and Mark's his heir. But if John were alive, he would warn you to leave here, Miss Van Gorder.
Really?
Yes. It's been a tragic place for anyone who ever lived in it. Well, good night.
Good night, Doctor.
Who's out there?
Nobody you need worry about, Doctor.
Oh, it's Andy.
Oh,
That's right. Oh, good evening, Miss Van Gordon.
Good evening, Lieutenant.
Somebody sick here?
My maid was bitten by a bat.
Oh? A rabid bat?
Well, I'll know for sure when I get to my lab. I caught the bat.
It happened indoors?
In my bedroom, yes.
How'd it get in?
Well, there are many ways a bat could get in a house.
You ought to know. I spotted this hole in the window the minute I got here.
Why?
That's where the two-legged bat got your door open.
Miss Van Gorder told me that she phoned headquarters at Zenith.
Yes, I phoned twice. The second time was after the prowler got in the house.
Weren't you at headquarters, Andy?
No, but they contacted me.
An officer came and searched the house from top to bottom, but they couldn't find the bat.
You better have this window fixed tomorrow.
Oh, yes, I certainly shall.
Listen, I'd better be going. I'm due in surgery at 8 o'clock in the morning. Good night.
Good night, Doctor.
There'll be a man patrolling the grounds all night, Miss Van Gorder.
Oh, thank you.
And nobody inside, Andy?
Why should there be?
Well, how do you know but what the bat is hiding somewhere in the house?
I'm quite sure he isn't in the house, Doctor. Not now. Good night.
Good night.
Hi, Andy. Hello, Mark. Well, congratulations. Real estate business must be picking up. New office, new furniture.
New deal. How do you like it?
Looks expensive. Are you squandering your inheritance?
Oh, I haven't got it yet.
Well, the paper says John Fleming left his entire fortune to you.
Funny thing about that entire fortune is that we can't find it.
No kidding.
Oh, all Uncle John had in his bank account was a couple of $100. And his safe deposit box was empty.
If we don't find that missing million, mine will be empty, too.
How come?
Well, all my savings were invested in Zenith Bank stock. The examiners won't certify the bank as solvent until those stolen securities are found. So the stockholders have voted an assessment that'll wipe some of us out. It's a since those securities have been converted into cash. And if I can't find that cash, I'm sunk.
Well, where are you going to look for it, Andy?
Here in Zenith. Your uncle wouldn't take $1 million on a hunting trip, would he?
You suspect Uncle John? Why, Andy, he founded the Zenith Bank. That'd be like robbing the family tomb.
You think he wouldn't?
Well, besides, Vic Bailey's fingerprints are all over the vault. Now, they didn't find any of Uncle John's fingerprints.
Because he wiped them off.
Can the defense prove that?
They'll try to. Judy Hollander, Bailey's secretary, is a defense witness. And they believe her testimony will have a powerful effect on the jury.
Oh, well, she has a powerful effect on me. Judy's a doll.
Here's the book you mentioned, Judy.
It's your newest one.
Yes, it's just been published. You can have that copy if you wish.
Oh, it's a first edition and you've signed it.
Yes, of course.
Thank you so much.
May I serve tea now, Miss Van Gorder?
Yes, please do, Warner.
Thank you.
Well, I see you've engaged new servants.
Yes, of course.
Well, how did you persuade them to live in this house?
Well, Jane Patterson, my new housekeeper, knows this house better than you do, Doctor.
Oh?
She worked for John Fleming. And Warner was my chauffeur.
Chauffeur turned butler?
Yes, it's incredible. He can play any part at a moment's notice. Did you get a plumber, Warner?
No, we can't get a plumber for 3 days, madam.
What about that leaking pipe? The basement will be flooded in 3 days.
Well, the pipe is no longer leaking.
You mean it's dried up of its own accord?
No, not quite. I packed the elbow where the water was coming out.
Packed the elbow? Oh.
Thank you, madam.
Now, there's a character.
How long did you say that he worked for you as chauffeur?
About 3 months.
Well, I hope he doesn't have a police record. My dear Dale, it may interest you to know that the last night of his life, John Fleming told me that he loved your husband like a son. If Fleming were alive today, he would be fighting to prove Vic's innocence.
Could Mr. Fleming prove his own innocence?
Miss Van Gorder, can there be any doubt about it?
There will be when Miss Hollander testifies at Vic's trial.
Oh? You know something that we haven't heard yet, Judy?
Something I saw with my own eyes. She's not permitted to say what it was.
My dear girl, I wouldn't think of asking her. But let's assume for a moment that Fleming did steal the $1 million. Now, what would he do about it? Where is it?
Hidden someplace where he could lay his hands on it without getting caught in the act. Now, if I was writing this, instead of living in the middle of it, I'd hide it right here in this spooky old house.
Under a loose floorboard or up a chimney?
If Mr. Fleming had the nerve to steal $1 million, he'd make his plans well in advance. I'd say he'd prepare a place to hide it. Possibly when this house was being built. Now, I rented this place from Mark Fleming, his nephew. I wonder if he'd have the floor plans.
I'll ask him.
Yes. Lizzie, will you bring Mrs. Bailey the phone? Oh, you ask him now. Okay. His number is Summit 7537.
Oh, thank you, Lizzie. Summit
7537.
Not bad, eh, Andy? That means new business. Now, you see, somebody wants to buy a house. Mark Fleming speaking.
Oh, hello, Dale.
Well, hang on a minute, honey, while I see if I have him. It's Dale Bailey, all excited. Miss Van Gorder wants to know if I have the floor plans of the Oaks. Now, what would she want with the floor plans?
Well, she suggested to me that your uncle might have hidden the bank loot there. Are the plans here?
Well, somewhere in the house itself. Wait a minute, there is a place where Uncle Johnny might have kept those blueprints.
What place?
Well, I heard him talk about it a good many years ago. I can't be sure of the exact location. Anyway, I don't think the old boy had the guts to steal $1 million. But if I find those plans, I'll let you know, Andy. Hello, Dale. Look, honey, I haven't seen those plans since I was a kid, but I'll come over tonight and maybe we can find them.
Thank you, Mark. We'll expect you. He seems to think they're here in the house somewhere. He's coming over tonight.
Well, that's good. Dale and Judy are my house guests for the weekend. Would you like to have dinner with us tonight?
Oh, no, thank you. I couldn't. I still have a few calls to make. You know, if Judy's testimony is going to clear Vic Bailey and implicate John Fleming, others may get the idea that there's buried treasure in this house. Don't even mention your testimony until you're actually on the stand.
Oh, I won't.
That's a smart girl, Judy, and a very lovely girl. Well, good afternoon, ladies.
Goodbye,
Doctor.
Dr. Wills.
Come on, girls, let's go. I should be putting them down on paper. Weren't you your husband's secretary, Dale?
Yes, I was.
Do you take shorthand?
Mm-hmm.
Well, my dear, if you'd like to have your mind occupied, I want you to work with me while I write the story of this fantastic criminal, the Bat. Lizzie, as usual.
Wonderful. Oh, what a lovely piece of silver. It's an original, isn't it?
Yes, they still use them in England for buffet breakfasts. Some hot water in the bottom. Keeps your kippers hot, your sausages, and your scrambled eggs. Interesting. It's very useful. Really nice.
That clock hasn't struck the hour in the last 10 years, if I'm to believe what Mark Fleming told me.
Why is it angled away from the wall like that?
I don't know. Somebody must have moved it. Lizzie, very likely when she was dusting.
Wait a minute. Did you know there's a door in this paneling?
No, I didn't.
Oh, my gracious, so there is.
Maybe it opens to a secret passage.
Oh,
certainly to a secret something.
Exciting.
Who knows, girls? We'll be about to stumble on that missing million. Oh, this is... There's a panel. There must be some gimmick to it. There always is. Yes, it moves. It moves. It moves. Oh.
Calling car 11. Calling car 11. Proceed to the Oaks in Zenith Township immediately. A homicide has been reported.
Okay. Proceeding to the Oaks. Notify the county coroner, Dr. Wells. Tell him to come to the Oaks at once.
Horrible. As if his throat has been torn by some creature with fangs or claws.
That's his sign. We found it on the others he killed. I'd hoped those reports that he was up to his old tricks again were pure imagination, but apparently they're based on fact. He's come back. Back to the scene of his kills. Yes, that's who I mean. That's who did this. The bat. Who found Mark?
We all did. And it's Dale and Judy and I. Lizzie was in the dining room. This is my new housekeeper, Jane Patterson. You know, she worked for John Fleming.
I know her. Where were you, Mrs. Patterson?
In the kitchen, cleaning up. I cooked the dinner tonight.
Did you know that the secret closet was here?
No. It was behind the grandfather's clock.
Well, it was I who found it, really. Noticed the clock had been moved and the door wasn't quite closed.
I'll get it.
Who is it? Mark Fleming.
As coroner, you saw the same wounds on the others. How long's he been dead?
Oh, I'd say about a half an hour. Do you believe it was the bat?
That's a bat's trademark.
Perhaps he's still in the house.
That's possible.
Why should he be?
Because he's looking for something, and like you, he believes it's here. And he's a persistent killer. I would advise you to get out of this house as quickly as possible, notwithstanding our expert police protection. Have you called the morgue?
They're on their way here.
Oh, good. I want to examine the body before they get here. May we take it into another room?
Yes, to the sunroom in the back.
Thank you. Give me a hand.
Excuse me. Oh, Warner, where have you been?
Well, madam, has been an accident?
There's been a murder. Mark Fleming, the young man from whom I leased this place, was killed here tonight.
They know who did it?
Well, they believe it was the bat.
I'm sorry I had to use the front door, Miss Van Gorder, but I forgot my keys, and when I rang the bell at the kitchen door, there was no response.
Oh, this is Warner, Lieutenant. He's my butler. He was my chauffeur.
Why'd you promote him?
But it's very difficult to find a butler. They don't like service in the country.
Have you been a butler before?
I've served in many capacities, sir, but this was my night off, and I forgot my keys.
I heard that part. What time did you leave the house tonight?
Oh, about 6:30. I had dinner at Wiley's Roadhouse.
Can you prove where you spent the rest of the evening?
I can try.
Try hard. And don't leave the house. I'll get to you later.
Very good, sir. I shall be in my room, Miss Van Gorder, if you need me.
Yes, Warner. Surely you don't think he's...
Warren and I've met before. I can't recall where or when, but I will. There'll be a crew here shortly from headquarters, dusting for fingerprints, taking photographs. But in the meantime, Mrs. Patterson, you aren't leaving the house tonight, are you?
No, Lieutenant.
Don't. I'll talk to you in the morning. Good night.
Good night, sir. Good night, Miss Van Gorder.
Dale, I was with Mark Fleming this afternoon when you talked to him about the floor plans of this house. I heard him tell you he was coming here tonight.
Dale called him at my request. She told me he was coming.
Who else heard her tell you that?
Judy, Lizzie.
And that nice Dr. Wells.
Dr. Wells. There are a few killers who kill for the fun of it. The bat very likely is a mental case, and I'm convinced that his crimes are motivated by his mania for personal gain. There's $1 million at large, and he's going to keep on hunting for it until he lays his hands on it. Now, these young ladies are staying here tonight?
Yes, they're my house guests.
Well, when my crew arrives, we'll be busy for a while, so I'd suggest
that we go to our rooms? That's a very good idea. Come on, girls. What about a police guard for this house tonight, Lieutenant?
You've got one. I'm going to cover this place tonight from the attic to the basement. If the bat makes another call, I'll have a little surprise for him.
Who is he? Have you any idea?
He could be anybody. So far, there are clues to his identity, but nothing we could take before a jury. I'm afraid we must look higher than the criminal world. He may be a merchant, lawyer, doctor, scientist, one of the pillars of his community. Ladies, lock your doors tonight. Stay behind them. I promise you you'll be safe. Good night.
Good night, Lieutenant. Good night.
Pity. So young. Well, Doctor, do you agree it was the bat?
In my report, I shall say the death was caused by the same technique used in the other killings. A paralyzing blow to the throat, followed by severe lacerations of the jugular, resulting in excessive hemorrhage.
In a layman's language, he didn't know what hit him.
Oh, he knew. But he didn't have time to think about it. Staying here tonight, Andy?
Well, until I check the doors and windows, but I'll be back bright and early in the morning.
Neither snow, nor rain, nor heat, nor gloom of night stays these couriers from the swift completion of their appointed rounds.
A lot of people are due for a shock when I close this case.
Yes, I'm sure they are. Good night, Andy. Don't get hurt.
Good night, Doctor.
You know, I think we'd better let you get some sleep.
Oh, well, Lizzie and I share this room for mutual protection. You know, one night, a storm blew the wires down, put the lights out, and I went out the next day and bought a half a dozen of these things. You better take one with you, Dale.
Oh, thank you.
We'll go across the hall now.
Are you sure there's nothing else you need?
Oh, no. Quite sure. We'll be all right.
Well, if anything bothers you, you just sing out, and 2 strong women will come to your rescue.
Oh, nothing will bother us. Not with Andy on the job. No.
Well, good night.
Good night, Miss Van Gordon. See you in the
Don't worry, everything will be all right.
We won't. Good night.
Good night.
I don't think I'll sleep tonight.
Me neither.
All I can see is poor Mark Fleming staring at us. I thought that when people died, their eyes closed, as in sleep.
Don't think about it.
I'll bet you're thinking about it.
No, I was thinking of my poor husband sleeping in jail tonight. Oh, Judy, I love him so much.
What's that noise?
Oh, I don't know. I kind of fell half asleep. For a moment, I thought it was something from a dream.
It's somewhere in the house.
Yes, on the floor above. Not directly over us. Probably a room overlooking the driveway.
Should we call Miss Van Gorder?
She'll hear it. How can she help but hear it? Oh, besides, we don't want her to think we're a couple of hysterical women.
Well, I'm about to become one.
Oh,
I've
dear.
had it for one night. Dale, you're not going out in that hall.
I want to know what's happening up there.
But Lieutenant Anderson said if we stayed behind our locked doors, we'd be safe.
Vic isn't safe locked up in that jail.
Oh, but...
Suppose that stolen money is in this house. Mark Fleming seemed to think it was. Maybe that's what somebody's looking for.
Oh, for heaven's sake, don't you hear that awful noise up there? Now, Lizzie, you've just got to stay awake. The house phone and the outside phone wires have been cut, and we can't get help. Where's that policeman?
Oh, I don't know. Something must have happened to him. Now, go on, get on your robe.
Oh, Dale, please don't go up there.
I've got to. Think what it could mean to Vic. Now, you stay here.
Oh, no. If you go, I go.
You wait here. I'm going to see what it is.
Oh, please let me go with you,
Judy,
Dale.
will you warn me if anyone comes? I'll only be a moment. Now, wait.
Give her to me. I'll look after her. Oh, Poor baby.
Judy. The bat.
Yes, the bat. He caught her at the head of the stairs. We saw him rushing down the stairs as we came out of the room. I hurled that after him. I hit him, I believe. I'm going to cover this place from attic to basement, you said. Well, what were you covering when that poor child was murdered? Where were you?
I saw a man outside in the grounds. I went out there and hunted him. I heard him in among the trees, and so I followed the sound of him as far as the brook down near the back road. And then I lost him. I'd rather give my own life than have this happen to Judy. But I told you to stay in your rooms and lock your doors and stay there. What was she doing at the head of those stairs?
That was my fault.
They heard a strange noise. Heavy pounding in one of the rooms on the 3rd floor. We all heard it.
I wanted to see what it was. Judy, I wish she wouldn't let me go out by myself. I made her stay on the balcony.
What about your new butler?
Oh, well, he's in his room, I suppose.
Oh, Mrs. Patterson.
Oh, yes.
Did you know what happened here?
No, sir, but I heard the screams. I went to call Warner. We have rooms on the same floor, but he wasn't in his room. His bed hasn't been slept in.
If Mrs. Patterson heard the screams, Warner could certainly hear them.
You're quite right, sir. I heard them.
Oh, you did? And where were you?
Outside in the grounds.
Miss Holland has been murdered. No. Oh, so you're surprised. Shocked. Well, I've seen better performances. I remember you now. Your name's not Warner. I've got a circular in my office with your picture on it. The Chicago police not so long ago were hunting for you in connection with the robbery.
You're right again, sir. And they found me and they tried me, and I proved my innocence and I was acquitted.
That could have been a lucky break. Where were you when this child was killed?
I told you before, sir. Outside.
What were you doing there?
I was following you. I saw you leaving the house, and it seemed that you were hunting someone. I thought you might need some help. Oh, yes, sir. I followed your flashlight down through the trees. Then it disappeared. And then suddenly, as I was staring out into the darkness, I was struck by something on the back of the head. The next thing I knew, I was lying on the ground. I realized I'd been knocked out.
I wish you had been knocked out. But then we'd have found you with your mask still on your face. You were hit here in this house with this poker as you were rushing down those stairs after that child was killed.
Oh, no, sir. You can't pin this on me. I'm not the bat. I've never killed. I couldn't kill. I won't take the rap for this.
Well, Doctor, we have another case for the county coroner. You see, the bat came back. Why did you come back, Doctor?
Well, I had an accident about a mile down the road. The right rear wheel of my car came off, and I plunged into the ditch. This was the nearest house, so I came here to call for help. I thought I'd find you around, Andy.
Physician, heal thyself. You must have been hit by something on the back of your head.
I told you I had an accident.
So you did, Doctor. So you did. I could be wrong. But maybe I'm not. We shall see.
All right, Dale, let's start a new chapter. For days, the murders held the headlines. Lieutenant Anderson grilled us and ransacked the house from top to bottom. Warner was not placed under arrest, but his every move was watched. At night, except for a detective on guard in the house, the police and the reporters left us alone. And on one of those nights, without telling Lizzie or anyone else, I pursued a secret investigation of my own. It was in an empty room on the 3rd floor where we kept our trunks and other things.
bright idea to kill me in my own lab and let people think that I'm the bat. But you had to kill me first. What was it to be, ambush? And clever as you are, you're not smart enough to do that. Nor were you smart enough to find the money, though you came quite close to it. But I know where it is. And when you're dead with that sign pinned on your chest, I'm going to collect it and live happily ever after. He destroyed himself. How true that will be. Well, goodbye, Bat. Here's a serum that will heal you whether you're rabid or not.
Something's wrong. Something's wrong. Miss Cornelia. Miss Cornelia. Now, where would she be going at this time of night? Well, land's sake. I never. Oh. Mr. Davenport. Mr. Davenport. Oh, a fine thing. The door unbolted, the chain off, and you asleep on the job. Wait till Lieutenant Anderson hears about this. Come on, wake up. What's the matter with you?
I don't know. My head hurts. My whole body's numb.
Here, take a sip of this. Try to snap out of it. I'll be back in a minute. Hurry, will you? It's Lizzie. I'm terribly worried. I can't find Miss Cornelia anywhere, and something's happened to the policeman. I don't know what. Get Warner. Bring him to the drawing room. Tell him we need him. Are you all right now?
Yeah, I'll be all right in a minute. I remember now. I took a drink of wine from that decanter there. Miss Van Gorder told me to help myself.
She wouldn't put nothing in it?
Well, somebody did. Somebody who knew I was on duty here.
Then it was somebody that got Miss Van Gorder. I can't find her anywhere. Upstairs, downstairs, or in the basement. I told the housekeeper to get Warner.
Lieutenant Anderson will want to know about this. Hello. Yeah, this is Davenport at the Oaks. We've got trouble here. Well, for one thing, I was drugged. Yeah. but I must have been knocked out because the maid tells me Miss Van Gorder's missing. Well, you better call Anderson and let him know. He's not at home. Well, where is he? Out on a case? What case? Dr. Wells. What else did they tell you about it?
Oh, hurry, will you? We've got to find Miss Cornelia.
Okay. Lieutenant Anderson is out on a case. Dr. Wells was found dead in a room next to his garage, murdered.
Dr. Wells?
There's something queer about the killing of Wells, but headquarters won't talk about it.
Lizzie, Warner isn't in his room. There's no sign of him anywhere.
And I was supposed to keep an eye on that guy.
Where's Miss Cornelia? That's what I want to know.
Wait a minute. Didn't you say that the chain and the bolt were off of the front door?
I certainly did.
Well, maybe Miss Van Gorder went outside.
Oh, she never would. We better look.
I can't breathe. There's no air.
Miss Cornelia.
Oh, Miss Van
Miss
Gorder.
Cornelia. Miss Cornelia.
Miss Van Gorder.
Look. There's a light in that room on the 3rd floor. Were you up there tonight?
Well, of course I was, but I turned the lights out before I came downstairs.
Then Miss Cornelia might have turned them on again. That's why we're going to look first. Come on.
I'm here. Right here. Come to the mantelpiece.
Here we are, Miss Van Gorder. What do we do now?
Over the mantel, there are 5 panels. Strike it with your hand.
Which panel did you say, Miss Van Gorder?
Oh, I can't. I just can't.
Miss Van Gorder, which panel? We couldn't hear you.
She said strike it. What difference does it make which panel? Strike them all. Look. It's all right now. It's all right, dear. Lizzie's here.
Feeling better?
Yes, much better.
We'll take you to your room.
Oh, no, you won't. I'm going to stay right here. I'm quite all right. Oh, how blessed it is to breathe without an effort. You know, no one knows how sweet the air can taste until someone shuts it off for a moment. That room is just like a box. When the mantelpiece closed, it seemed like all the air was drawn out of it. Look, there it goes again.
Let it close. I can open it from in here. There's a control panel behind this blueprint. Electric motor under the trap door here. Once the door is open, you can keep it that way. I believe that the fireplace in this other room opens the same way. And it does.
I tried to find this, but I couldn't find it.
Yeah, it's back at this blueprint here. Well, it's quite a setup. Too bad we can't open that safe in the same way. Take an expert to crack this box or a shot of nitro.
Oh, maybe that's what the bat had in mind.
Could be. Seems he's on the prowl tonight.
Miss Van Gorder, Warner has disappeared.
And Dr. Wells has been murdered.
Dr. Wells?
Lieutenant Anderson's on that case right now.
Well, does he know what happened here tonight?
They got word to him. He'll be here any minute.
What's that noise? Miss Van Gorder, the garage is on fire.
Scott, look at that.
Lizzie, put that light out in the other room. Now, where are you going?
To report the fire.
Well, you just stay right here.
But Miss Van Gorder, the garage.
Well, let it burn. You watch the stair. Can't you see that fire was set to get us out of the house?
Out of the house? Were you talking about the...
Yes, I'm talking about the bat. Now that the lights are out, he'll think his trick has worked, and we've gone. He'll be here any minute.
Well, so will Lieutenant Anderson.
I hope so, but the bat will be here first. And he'll kill again if we're in his way. We've got to be as clever as he is.
You'll be safer downstairs. I'll take care of you.
Well, the others can go, but I'm going to stay right here.
All right, but get out of sight.
Let's face it, ladies, and get it over with. Others have seen my face before they died, but I'll have to deny you that pleasure. This would make a good scene for your book, Miss Van Gorder, but I'm afraid you'll never write it.
That is Warner. I could tell.
You misjudged me, Miss Ellen.
Warner!
I don't like being a murder suspect, Miss Van Gorder. I was headed for a plane, but halfway to the airport, I changed my mind and came back. I'm glad that I did.
Why, it's Lieutenant Anderson. Yes, it was Anderson. He'd discovered the secret of the hidden room and was waiting to get into it and open up the safe. We found the money in it, a little over $1 million in 10s and 20s and 100s. Good old Andy. With all his ill-gotten gains invested in bank stock. It's rather a clever way to hide stolen money. In the open, as it were, and so respectable. But don't try it. No matter how clever you are, you can't hide murder. Well, that's it, Dale. That's the end.
Dum-dum, beetle-dum-dum, beetle-dum-dum, beetle-dum-dum. There was a turtle by the name of Bert, and Bert the turtle was very alert. When danger threatened him, he never got hurt. He knew just what to do. He ducked and covered, ducked and covered.
He did what we all must learn to do. You
and you
and you
and you, duck and cover.
Be sure and remember what Bert the Turtle just did, friends, because every one of us must remember to do the same thing. That's what this film is all about. Duck and cover. This is an official civil defense film produced in cooperation with the Federal Civil Defense Administration and in consultation with the Safety Commission of the National Education Association. Produced by Archer Productions, Incorporated. Hey, Bert, come on out and meet all these nice people. Please? Oh, all right. We really can't blame you. You see, Bert is a very, very careful fellow. When there's danger, this is the way he keeps from being hurt. Sometimes it even saves his life. That's why these children are practicing to duck and cover just as you do in your school. We all know the atomic bomb is very dangerous. Since it may be used against us, we must get ready for it, just as we are ready for many other dangers that are around us all the time. Fire is a danger. It can burn whole buildings if someone is careless. But we are ready for fires. We have a fine fire department to put out the fire, and you have fire drills in your school so you know what to do. Automobiles can be dangerous, too. They sometimes cause bad accidents, but we are ready. We have safety rules that car drivers and people who are walking must obey. Now, we must be ready for a new danger, the atomic bomb. First, you have to know what happens when an atomic bomb explodes. You will know when it comes. We hope it never comes, but we must get ready. It looks something like this. There is a bright flash, brighter than the sun, brighter than anything you've ever seen. If you were not ready and did not know what to do, it could hurt you in different ways. It could knock you down hard or throw you against a tree or a wall. It is such a big explosion, it can smash in buildings and knock signboards over and break windows all over town. But if you duck and cover like Bert, you will be much safer. You know how bad sunburn can feel. The atomic bomb flash could burn you worse than a terrible sunburn, especially where you're not covered. Now, you and I don't have shells to crawl into like Bert the turtle, so we have to cover up in our own way. First, you duck, and then you cover. And very tightly, you cover the back of your neck and your face. Duck and cover underneath a table or desk or anything else close by. In Betty's school, they are talking about the atomic bomb, too. Betty is asking her teacher, how can we tell when the atomic bomb may explode? And her teacher is explaining that there are two kinds of attack, with warning and without any warning. We think that most of the time we will be warned before the bomb explodes, so there will be time for us to get into our homes, schools, or some other safe place. Our civil defense workers and our men in uniform will do everything they can to warn us before enemy planes can bring a bomb near us. You may be in your schoolyard playing when the signal comes. That signal means to stop whatever you are doing and get to the nearest safe place fast. Always remember, the flash of an atomic bomb can come at any time, no matter where you may be. You might be out playing at home when the warning comes. Then be sure to get into the house fast, where your parents have fixed a safe place for you to go. If you are not close to home when you hear the warning, go to the nearest safe cover. Know where you are to go, or ask an older person to help you. You know the places marked with the S sign? They're safe places to go when you hear the alarm. If there is a warning, you will hear it before the bomb explodes. But sometimes, and this is very, very important, sometimes the bomb might explode without any warning. Then the first thing we would know about it would be the flash. And that means duck and cover fast, wherever you are. There's no time to look around or wait. Be like Bert. When there is a flash, duck and cover, and do it fast. Here are some older boys showing what to do if the flash comes when you are not in the classroom. This is what to do if you should be in a corridor. You duck and cover tight against the wall this way. Remember to keep your face and the back of your neck covered tightly. Try to fall away from windows or doors with glass in them. Then, if the glass breaks and flies through the air, it won't cut you. You might be eating your lunch when the flash comes. Duck and cover under the table. Then, if the explosion makes anything in the room fall down, it can't fall on you. Getting ready means we will all have to be able to take care of ourselves. The bomb might explode when there are no grown-ups near. Paul and Patty know this, and they're always ready to take care of themselves. Here they are on their way to school on a beautiful spring day. But no matter where they go or what they do, they always try to remember what to do if the atom bomb explodes right then. It's a bomb. Duck and cover. Paul and Patty know what to do. Paul covered the back of his head so that he wouldn't be burned, and Patty covered herself with the coat she was carrying. They knew how to duck and cover. They acted right away when the flash came. If they had been at this doorway when the bomb flashed, Paul and Patty would have ducked and covered this way, like this girl. Heavy doorways are a good place to duck and cover. She will be safer, too. Here's Tony going to his Cub Scout meeting. Tony knows the bomb can explode any time of the year, day or night. He is ready for it. Duck and cover. Atta boy, Tony. That flash means act fast. Tony knows that it helps to get to any kind of cover. This wall was close by, so that's where he ducked and covered. Tony knew what to do. Notice how he keeps from moving or from getting up and running? He stays down until he is sure the danger is over. The man helping Tony is a civil defense worker. His job is to help protect us when there is danger of the atomic bomb. We must obey the civil defense worker. We must know how to duck and cover in the school bus or in any other bus or streetcar. Duck and cover. Don't wait. Duck away from the windows fast. The glass may break and fly through the air and cut you. Sundays, holidays, vacation time, we must be ready every day, all the time, to do the right thing if the atomic bomb explodes. Duck and cover. This family knows what to do, just as your own family should. They know that even a thin cloth helps protect them. Even a newspaper can save you from a bad burn. But the most important thing of all is to duck and cover yourself, especially where your clothes do not cover you. No matter where we live, in the city or the country, we must be ready all the time for the atomic bomb. Duck and cover. That's the first thing to do, duck and cover. The next important thing to do after that is to stay covered until the danger is over. Yes, we must all get ready now so we know how to save ourselves if the atomic bomb ever explodes near us. If you do not know just what to do, ask your teacher when this film is over. Discuss what you could do in different places if a bomb explodes. Older people will help us as they always do, but there might not be any grown-ups around when the bomb explodes. Then, you're on your own.
Remember what to do, friends. Now tell me right out loud. What are you supposed to do when you see the flash?
Duck and cover. Duck and cover. Duck and cover.
Ночью Олег сторожил у изгороди. Устал. В теле была пустота и обыкновенность. 3 раза люди ходили к перевалу, и все зазря. Так и не смогли пробиться. Некоторые возвращались, другие нет. 50/50, как говорит старый.
Лошадка запряженная, хвосту воз, а
А что это такое лошадь?
Лошадь – это животное, четвероногое, которое использовали для перевозки груза, верховой езды.
Олег 1000 раз видел эту фотографию. Отец с матерью стоят рядом, очень молодые и очень веселые, яркие. Отец в мундире, а мать в платье без плеч. Называется сарафаном. Тогда Олега еще не было. 20 лет назад Олега еще не было, а 15 лет назад он уже был.
Жаль, что быстро прибежали. Я бы сам с ними справился. С тобой ничего? Ты что, плачешь? Тебя ранили?
Нет, я грибы потеряла.
Вот тут нас поймала лавина. Хотя нет, Никита погиб выше по ущелью.
Стояла осень, температура ночью падала до 40 градусов.
Тогда радиация была одной из причин, почему нам пришлось так спешно уходить.
Было много больных и раненых, а сейчас...
И надеюсь, очень надеюсь на тебя, на знание. Атлант.
Они еще совсем дети.
Других у нас нет. Они наша последняя надежда. Они могут нас спасти.
Спасти? Ты толдычишь о спасении. 3 раза люди ходили к перевалу, а сколько вернулось? С чем?
Тогда мы были еще неопытны. Мы не знали здешних законов. Сейчас счастливое сочетание обстоятельств. Лето такое теплое, какого не было за все эти годы. И дети подросли. В 10 раз более выносливые и приспособленные, чем мы. Сегодня или никогда.
Если бы те не погибли, мы жили бы лучше. Было бы больше кормильцев.
Конечно. Но все равно оказались бы во власти законов деградации. Или мы часть человечества и бережем его знания, стремимся к ним. Или мы дикари без перспектив.
Ты идеалист, Боря. Кусок хлеба сегодня нужнее абстрактных ананасов.
Но ты ведь помнишь вкус ананаса.
Смешное слово.
Ананас – это тропический плод со специфическим вкусом. Ну все.
Зачем это? Что это? Зачем?
Счетчик радиации. Там может быть радиация.
Томас, если будет табак для трубки, не забудь. И бластер.
Не забуду.
Главное найти бластер.
Не забуду.
И куда идти? Не дойдете же. Хорошо еще, если целыми вернетесь. Не дойдете же. Хорошо еще, если целыми вернетесь.
красивых минут. В жизни так много безверия и черной работы. Мысли о прошлом морщины на бледные лица кладут. Мысли о будущем полны свинцовой заботы. А настоящего нет.
In our cities, where the air is often polluted with smoke, smog, and other toxic chemicals, and just plain dirt, you can wash just about anything. Yes, you can wash just about anything soiled by city air, except your lungs. If you want to help clear the air, write to your local or state air pollution control agency or to Clean Air.
The eternal wonders of space and time, the faraway dreams and mysteries of other worlds, other life, the stars, the planets. Man has been face to face with them for centuries, yet is barely able to penetrate their unknown secrets. Sometime, someday, the barrier will be pierced. Why must we wait? Why not now?
White Sands calling Moon Rocket 4, code 63. Can you hear us? White Sands calling Moon Rocket 4, code 63. Can you hear us? White Sands calling Moon Rocket 4, code 63. Can you show any sign of recognition? White Sands to Rocket 4, code 63. Come in. White Sands calling Moon Rocket 4, code 63. Can you hear us? White Sands, calling Moon Rocket 4, code 63. Can you show any sign of recognition? White Sands, calling Moon Rocket 4, code 63. Can you show any sign of recognition?
Well, what do you know?
Telephone, Commander. Shall I say you're out?
Help the others.
All right, you sleeping beauties, hit the deck. Every man a tiger. Let's go. You all right, Helen?
Sure, Kip. Thanks.
In space. We've made it.
Oh, brother, am I going to collect some bets?
White Sands to Moon Rocket 4, code 63. Come in.
Tell him there's no one here but us space people.
Not yet. First, I want your initial reports. Remember, this is a scientific expedition and not a stunt. How are you on course, Helen?
On course.
Are you sure?
Quite. You know, lad, I have the strangest feeling as though all this has happened before.
White Sands to Moon Rocket 4, code 63. Come in.
Rocket 4 to White Sands. Granger speaking. Can you hear me?
Can we hear you? Come in.
We have passed the 2,000-mile level, are traveling in space. Speed, 7 miles a second. Motors smooth, fuel consumption 0.865. Temperature density of atom chamber unchanged. Nitrate pictate acid secure. We will report again at 1400. Over and out.
Wait a minute, Commander. There's a world full of people listening in. Are you all right? Could we have a few words from the crew?
No.
Oh, come on, lad. Don't be stuffy.
All right, speak from your stations, but be brief.
Rocket 4 to White Sands, stand by. The next voice you hear will be Kip Reisner, co-pilot.
All I gotta say is watch out for that first step. It's a pip.
Helen Salinger, navigator. Hello, Alpha. We're on our way.
This is Doug Smith, radio operator. I'm going to bring you a piece of that green cheese for sure.
Walt Wallace, engineer. We're humming along, folks. That new lubrication by the Delphite Oil Company sure turned the trick. Over to you, White Sands. That plug ought to make a couple of grand, huh?
Over and out.
Hold on, Rocket 4, code 63. We want to switch you over to Washington and General Rayburn.
Members of Atomic Rocket Crew 4, our congratulations on your magnificent achievement. You are embarked on a space journey of over 200,000 miles. At 25,000 miles per hour, you have 10 hours flight ahead of you. To the scientific ingenuity that made this flight possible, there must now be added your skill, your courage, and our prayers.
Weight balance to right. Something's embedded in our rear section. The atomic chamber. Heat radiation going up fast.
Must be a meteor. Can we shake it?
Maybe centrifugal force will dislodge it.
Now then, most certainly. We've dumped it. Nice work, Laird.
If we'd been paying more attention to our work, this might not have happened. Doug, didn't the meteor appear on the view screen?
I don't know, sir. I was listening to the...
Exactly. Well, for the rest of this journey, we operate strictly by the book. The planners of this expedition have foreseen all contingencies.
We hope.
We do more than hope. We work with confidence. Now then, Helen, will you set us on course?
Yes, sir.
Doug, tune in White Sands.
I'm trying, sir, but there's no pip. I'm afraid I'm out of business. Commander, the atom chamber, the nitric acid. One of the containers must have broken.
The acid reaches the fuel chamber, will explode, won't we?
Turn on the water line. That'll neutralize it.
Nothing happened, sir.
Pour it on.
It won't work, sir.
It's got to work. What are you doing?
I want to check that obstruction on the water line.
The acid will burn through that suit in 1 minute flat.
I'll just need 59 seconds. I hope.
Come back here. Kip!
It's under control. Every man a tiger. Let's go.
Well, I guess I'm not out of business.
You must have skin like a rhinoceros. It didn't even blister.
We can't all be beautiful. Is Laird sore? After all, I did go over his head.
Well, he gave us another lecture on discipline. He's right, you know, Kip. We came only this far because we did it by the book.
Some things aren't in the book. I'm okay. Go and talk to Laird. Go on. After all, you're his girl.
For the duration of this trip, the only relation I have with Laird is a scientific one. This is no time to pamper with the emotion.
I bet you got that from him.
It's true.
It's hooey. You can't turn love on and off like a faucet. Believe me, baby, if I ever fell in love with you, I'd chase you across the world, around the moon, and All the way stations in between. Go on, beat it.
All right, hero. I'll go talk to Laird. But if you don't mind, it'll only be about our landing. You two make a great team. Strong mind and strong back.
I suppose so.
View screen should be okay now, sir.
Thanks, Doug. Helen, who is Alpha?
Alpha?
On the radio, you said, Alpha, we're on our way.
I don't remember saying that.
Probably just a touch of space madness. You know, there's one school of thought that we'd all go insane.
Alpha.
You better pick your landing spot and start figuring.
I already have. We're on course.
That's what I call a navigator.
It's a valley on the dark side of the moon.
The dark side? How could you possibly know anything about the dark side? All man has ever seen is the bright side.
Well, the bright side cuts across part of this valley. You can just barely see it on the photographs.
Well, why there? We'd plan to study the bright side and then circle to the dark side.
Please, Laird, this is a perfect landing place. Believe me. I don't know why I know it, but I know it for sure.
You're the navigator. We'll take a look at it anyway. Please take your stations, please. We're coming in. Start the retarders, Walt. Retarders off, stabilizers on. Unbuckle now.
Nice picking, Helen.
I knew it was the right place.
Someday I'm gonna ask you how.
What'll we do first, Laird? Want to check the ship, do a repair job if necessary?
Well, let's make some findings. We're on the moon, not in a machine shop.
I'll go along with Helen on that. We'll make a short exploratory tour, come back, grab some sleep, and then we'll look the ship over.
Okay, but I'd feel a lot better if I was sure we were ready to take off at a moment's notice.
Why?
It's my Navy background. In any engagement, be prepared to disengage.
Well, this isn't the Navy. Come on, Doug. Help me into my suit. These shoes are heavy.
You'll notice it when you get outside. I want everybody to check everybody else's equipment. It must be set number 2 because of the absolute cold in the dark side. And when you get out there, remember, stay on the dark side.
Without any oxygen, what can you possibly want with cigarettes?
I feel more at home carrying them.
About as silly as that gun, Kip. You know there's no life on the moon.
I guess I'm like Helen. I feel more at home that way.
I wish you'd tell him not to, Laird. Either we're on a scientific expedition or we're a bunch of Boy Scouts on an outing.
I agree with you, Helen, but I guess it won't do any hurt. There's too much infantile rheumatism in this crew.
Well, I guess I'd better leave this behind then. I was going to do this outside, but I guess it can wait. What are those? First letters from the moon. I even got my own cancellation stamp. Ought to be worth a couple of $100 apiece. Why didn't you make up about 50 of them? Brings the price down, boy. Stamps has got to be rare.
Mr. Walters, when you're ready.
All set, sir.
I'll go first. You wait here. It works. Come ahead. Think of it, Helen. 200,000 miles away we were. Yet we knew it would be like this.
We'll head that way.
Any particular reason?
There's a cave in the side of the crater over there. I noticed as we were settling in.
Buried treasure, perhaps.
Kip, would you mind very much if we did operate by the book for a while?
Whatever the commander says.
Single file.
Look out! Meteorite!
Here we are at the dividing line. May not seem like much to us, but if Helen will fish me out one of those silly cigarettes, I'll show you something. There it is. Just like Helen said.
I wonder if the commander would permit an observation.
Oh, come on, Kip. We don't have to get that formal.
Well, I only wanted to point out that from the angle the ship entered the crater, it would have been impossible for Miss Salinger to spot that cave.
You mean she just guessed it was there?
If she could guess a landing spot on the dark side of the moon, I suppose she could guess a cave.
What are you driving at?
I don't know, but I'll guarantee it isn't in the book.
Come on, let's go. Magnificent.
Let's go in.
Might as well.
Wait a minute. Wouldn't it be wise for someone to stay behind and guard the ship?
I don't think anybody will take it. Helen! Helen!
Come on, this boy!
Stay right where you are. I don't want to lose anybody.
Exactly as I dreamed it. Or did I? Maybe this is the dream.
It's pretty weird. Have you had enough? If you're tired, we can go back.
No. We go on this way. Somebody miscalculated on these boots, lad. They're far too heavy.
They were all right outside. I can't understand it.
Laird. Look! Moisture! How can there be water without atmosphere?
Impossible. This may be something that only looks like water.
Scientist doesn't know enough to come in out of the rain. Laird, has it ever occurred to you that maybe this is atmosphere?
On the moon?
Could be why it's hard for us to walk. Where there's atmosphere, there's got to be gravitational pull to hold it. Even I know that.
We'll go back and get our instruments.
That won't be necessary. This will prove it.
It's burning! That means oxygen!
One at a time.
It's air, all right. Wait till I tell him I was the first man to breathe on the moon.
Maybe we can bottle this stuff for sale. Moon mist for chronic coughs and asthma.
Well, Laird, you'll have to admit that one wasn't in a book. How do you figure it?
That makes you very happy, I suppose.
No? Just curious.
Magnetic field on the dark side could exert a gravitational pull, a special one. Of course, we'd have to verify it.
And this is a natural decompression chamber, isn't it, sir?
We're almost at the end.
How do you know we're almost at the end?
Well, it stands to reason the air isn't stuffy, so there must be an opening nearby.
All right, we'll leave the suits here.
Well, I know one thing that goes with me. This. Where there's oxygen, there can be life. And where there's life, there's death.
There you go again, Kip. Why is it that the unknown always frightens people? Why can't we expect love and friendship instead of death?
I'm all for love and friendship, but I worry. Now, if you don't mind, Laird, I'll take the lead.
But I do mind, Kip. In fact, I was about to suggest that you bring up the rear. Helen.
Easy. Easy does it. We killed him.
Isn't it funny? I knew about everything but this. Forgive me, Kip. I'm so sorry I was cross with you.
You all right, Helen?
Yes. Just let me rest a little.
Walt, you come with me. We're going back and guard those spacesuits. The rest of you follow as soon as Helen can walk. Doug, take this. Any objections, Laird?
No, Kip. Go ahead. Come on. Let's go. Look around. What happened?
Nothing. I just opened my eyes and missed you. I'm all right now. Should we go on?
Kip and Walt have gone back to suits. We can join them if you're able.
Back? Why back?
I think we've had enough for one day.
No. You've been listening to Kip. He's just afraid.
I don't think Kip is afraid of anything, Helen, but we don't know what's ahead.
Well, I'll tell you then. Adventure, discovery, knowledge. Isn't that why we came?
Of course, but another day.
Now, if you don't want to come with me, I'll go on alone.
You listen to me. I'm still commander of this expedition.
You're not my commander. I know where I want to go, and I'm going there.
Helen, what's cutting into you?
Take your hands off me.
Granger, they're gone.
The spacesuits? You must have missed them.
They're gone, all right, Commander.
We went back to the place we left them. There were marks in the sand as if they'd been dragged away, just to make sure we checked back as far as we could.
Down there ran out of air.
But without suits, we're trapped.
Unless we find the joker who took them. And I'll have that gun now.
That settles the argument Laird and I were having. If we can't go back, the obvious thing to do is go forward.
You seem very proud of yourself, Helen.
I am. There it is.
You said that as if you knew it all the time.
It ain't true. There can't be another world in the bowels of the moon.
That's exactly what it is.
Cold. I'd say there hasn't been a fire lit in this place in many years, perhaps centuries. Probably an extinct civilization.
Took some form of intelligence to steal those spacesuits.
Of course it did. And a very high form to build a place like this.
You seem to know all about it. What do they look like?
Hey, come here. Look, it's all ready for lighting.
You bring your cigarettes and matches?
I told you I didn't feel at home without them.
Oh, that's better. I was getting a mighty lonely feeling.
Helen. Helen, I asked you a question.
What?
You seem to know this place was here. What else do you know?
Nothing. Certainly I've never been here before. I must have dreamed.
Did you dream who stole our spacesuits?
Of course not. I grant you, Kip, this is something we didn't foresee. But let's not lose our senses completely.
Somebody stole our suits. And that somebody must still be around here. Hey! You out there! Hey!
That guy sounds lost.
Come on, Doug. Let's look around.
What happened?
Something jumped me.
What sort of thing?
I couldn't tell. It jumped on my back and tried to get at my throat.
Where's Helen?
I don't know, but I caught a glimpse of her during the fight, and she was just standing there watching.
Helen! 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 Helen!
A fire!
Helen! Spread out quickly.
I got one over here!
Let's have a look at it. Huh? Anything in the book about that, Professor?
I don't know what to believe anymore, Kip.
Well, you can believe this. They were definitely after this gun. From here on, we stick together so they can't pick us off one by one. I've got a hunch Helen will be back. We'll wait. We'll give her 1 hour.
I'm still in command here, Kip.
That's right, Laird. If you order us to separate and go hunting for Helen, we will.
No. We'll wait.
I am here, Alpha. It has been a long journey, Helen. Welcome to the moon. This is my second in command, Beta. And this is Lambda. The others you will meet in time.
But there's still so much I don't understand.
You are now one of us. Ask anything.
Well, I still can't be sure whether you're speaking my language or I yours.
We need no language, Helen. We can project our thoughts long distances, as you well know. Someday we will teach you. In the meantime, we will speak your tongue, just as we speak Oliver's tongues.
Remember that our generation predates yours by centuries.
Yes. What you taught me about celestial navigation made me look like quite a genius. But why me, Alpha, and not the others?
We have no use for men.
What Beta means is that we have no contact or control over them, as we do among ourselves. It seemed rather difficult to get a crew entirely composed of women. We decided to concentrate on you.
With your wisdom, how is it you never came to us on Earth?
Our ancestors made one fatal error, Helen. When they discovered that the atmosphere around us was beginning to disappear, they decided to conserve oxygen. Do you know what that meant? Maximum energy reduction. Planned genocide to reduce population. Then, when we discovered we were only postponing the inevitable, it was too late. Our only hope was that a spaceship would come to us.
And now that we're here,
you will take back only 3 of us. We 3.
Only women?
We have no men.
But my knowledge is limited to navigation. Can you run the ship without them?
They will teach us how.
But you said you had no control over them.
Show us their weak points. We'll take care of the rest.
It's strange. I should care what happens to them. And yet I don't.
No. You see, we don't care. And you are one of us.
All right, Kip. It's 1 hour. You were wrong.
Wait a minute. I hear something.
Where have you been?
I've been trying to convince them we're their friends. You know, Kip, it was your gun that frightened them. I promised them you'd put it away.
An unpromise. This gun stays out until they produce the spacesuits. Try to convince them of that.
Have no fears, Lieutenant Reisner. Your suits are safe and will be returned to you at the end of your visit.
Helen, they speak English.
Theirs is an ancient culture, Laird. Their communication system is far in advance to ours.
You want to be friends? Then bring the spacesuits here and now.
Oh, don't be a bore.
It's all right, my dear. I understand. Your suits will be returned to you in the morning, Lieutenant.
Good. That's when I'll start being friendly.
Pay no attention to him. He's only the co-pilot. Commander Granger here is our chief pilot and head of our expedition. This is Doug Smith, radio operator, and Walt Walters is our engineer. I don't know all of their names yet, but this is Alpha, Lambda, and Beta.
And most important of all, here is food.
Alpha?
Oh, yes. They seem to have mastered the art of mental telepathy. I don't understand it yet myself, but she was sending me messages all the way.
Should we take a chance?
Why not? Delicious. Tastes a little like honeydew melon.
May we serve you, Earthmen?
Well, thanks, Lambda.
Come, sit down.
Delighted.
Come on, Kip, it's great.
I brought my dinner with me.
Rations? You must be nuts. Yes, sir. This is a nice layout.
I wonder what the folks back home would think if they knew I was having dinner with a beautiful moon.
Do you have a special Earth girl?
No, nobody special. How about you? Incidentally, where are your menfolk?
You're the first man I've ever seen. Ours died off when I was still a child.
Gee, it's a lucky thing we came along. Oh, I mean, so you'd know what a man looks like. I mean, I'm sorry about your menfolk, Lambda. I didn't mean any other way.
I understand, Doug.
But after the navigator has set the course, how do you adjust this automatic pilot?
Well, that's pretty complicated, and besides, it's restricted information. But, let's talk about your people. I want to know how that girl Lambert disappeared from right under our noses, and how you were able to contact Helen before we even hit the moon.
That, Commander, is a good deal more complicated than your automatic pilot. But if you will explain the one, I would at least try to indicate how we have achieved complete control over our bodies and minds.
Perhaps some other day. Sure you understand, but I'm under orders.
As you wish. Some of our wine?
Huh.
have any small works of art that I could take home with me as a souvenir, would you?
You may have this.
Thanks. I was admiring it. What's it made of?
You have no metal on earth to compare.
We call these things sleigh bracelets. They're made out of gold sometimes.
Gold? Why?
The carriage trade. Plenty expensive.
Gold. But it's so common.
Gold common?
We don't even bother to dig it.
You mean it just hangs around loose?
There's a place near here where there's more gold than you could carry away in your rocket ship in 100 years.
I don't believe it. At least not until you show me.
I'll make a bargain with you. You take me aboard your rocket ship, I'll show you the cave of gold.
Skipper wouldn't buy it. Just wouldn't go for it. Besides, we'd need those spacesuits to get out of that tunnel.
I know where the spacesuits are.
A whole cave full of real gold. And you'd keep it a secret? Just between us? You wouldn't tell anybody?
Or on Saturday nights, you can go out on the town. Dance, drink, just laugh a little too hard.
I'd like the driving down to the beach best. Stretching out on the sand. Just a boy and a girl together. And maybe what you call a Coke.
You would? That's what I like best, too. With the right girl, of course.
To the everlasting friendship of our peoples.
Amen.
And now I know you must be tired. We will return tomorrow. And with your spacesuits, my foolish friend.
I can be had. Well, I hope you had yourselves a time.
If we didn't blunder ahead and start a war between the worlds, it's no thanks to you.
No thanks asked. Question is, who's going to stand the first 2-hour watch tonight? Helen?
What for?
Walt?
Where is Walt?
Last I saw, he was wandering off with Beta.
Fast worker, that guy.
That's not funny. Walt! 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 Walt Walters! Didn't we agree to stick together?
I don't think he's in danger, Kip.
What do you think, Miss Solinger?
I think you're spoiling for a fight.
You're so right. Would you like to step into my private office?
Anytime.
Kip!
Don't worry. I won't slug her. Doug, stand guard.
Okay, Kip.
This way, Miss Solinger. Now then, which side are you on?
I didn't know we had sides.
I'm convinced you deliberately led us into this. I'd be very happy if you'd unconvince me.
I don't know what you mean.
Look, Helen, I have a very high regard for you. You're smart, you have courage, and you're all woman. And if it hadn't been for Laird, I'd have tried to make it you and me a long time ago.
Flattery will get you no place.
Helen!
Take your big hands off me.
Not until you're level with me. Oh, come on now. I'm not hurting you that much.
Don't let go, Kip.
Helen, what's the matter?
Danger, Kip. They want to kill you. They'll take the spaceship and they'll make me go with them.
Well, how?
They can, Kip. They control me.
Control you?
Even with Laird, I liked you best. But Laird knew more, and they wanted me with him.
They don't control you now, do they?
No. But hang on. Hold on tight.
You're doggone right I will. You're doggone right.
You won't tell Laird about this, will you?
One of us will have to.
I don't want to hurt him, and I'll handle it. Let's get back to Earth first.
Sure. Look, tell me. How do these catwomen intend to play their hand?
Well, not for a few days. But don't worry, they can't do a thing without me.
I understand. What about Walt?
Boys will be boys, I guess. Can we go in? I'm exhausted.
Sure. Sleep well, Helen. Well, you were right, Laird. My apologies. She's a fine girl.
Of course she is. You know, there's a lot of things I don't understand yet. But you can be sure that there's a perfectly valid and scientific reason for all of them.
That's right, Laird.
These people may be far ahead of us in many things.
Not as far as they think.
What do you mean?
Nothing. We'll talk about it in the morning. Let's get some sleep. And I don't think we need to stand guard. By the way, if Walt comes back, eat him out on general principles, will you?
You're the expert at that. You got my full permission.
In other words, this controls this in a ratio of 6 to 1. The speed control retarder, the stabilizer, and the cutoff.
You're too smart for me, baby. I like 'em stupid.
Why don't you stay on the moon and let me do your job?
Well, if that goal is piled as high as you say it is, one more trip and you can have my job.
It's there for the looking.
Come on, let's go.
Sorry to disturb you, but I feel like a chaperone to a fraternity dance.
What's the matter?
Doug's just gone off with little Lambda.
Lambda? Well, that's bad, Kip. She's the dangerous one.
Dangerous? That kid?
Yes. You'd better go after them. There may have been a change in plans.
Okay. Their mood, I don't imagine they went very far.
Ada, it's really gold.
Yes, Doug.
Gold. Gold.
What's the matter?
Go away, quick, quick.
But why? If it's anything I said or did.
No. No, please save yourself.
From what?
From me. Because I love you, Doug. Yet I must kill you.
I love you too, Lambda. And I'm not afraid.
Oh, listen to me. The survival of my people is at stake. In another few years, this underground world will be as dead as the bright side of the moon.
I will come back, Lambda. I promise. The ship is only the first of many.
But don't you see, we must be sure. 2 million years of civilization. Does one gamble that on a promise?
Lambda, I will come back.
Kip, old man, I'm afraid I'm going to have to intercede for Walt and Doug. You know, there must be something to this moon and romance stuff.
All right. Now, Helen, you say something.
It's obvious, isn't it? All that poppycock I told you out on the terrace was just to get you to go away. Now go away, will you?
That's what I'd like to do. But I'm sure not getting any help.
She's in tune with Helen. Granger's explaining the automatic pilot. I must talk to Alpha. Helen can tell her later.
Is it important?
Yes. I think we should take one of the men back with us.
Why?
Because if we show good faith, they might send more ships.
4 of us will be enough. We will get their women under our power, and soon we will rule the whole world.
But I don't want to rule the world. I want to live on it just like the Earth people do.
Lambda, we are coming into a new situation. We must bring our culture to Earth.
No. She's fallen in love with the radio operator.
Is that true?
And what if it is?
There is no room in your life for love. We will choose your man eugenically. You and Beta will have girl children fit to carry on. The best of the Earth mongrels will be none too good.
I won't do it. I love Doug, and you must take him. Threats, my dear? Yes. It just so happens you can't leave without us, and I won't tell you why.
Lambda, you will tell me why.
You think you can force me? My will is just as strong as yours.
And now we have no time to waste.
Kip.
Well, I didn't expect to see you again.
I think we'd better plan on getting out of here.
No. When did you arrive at that momentous decision?
Some of these moon people are planning to steal our ship.
No.
But one of them is on our side.
I suppose you mean Helen.
Well, Helen's liable to be a bit of a problem, too. She's been marked. She's under the influence of these people.
Kid, you interest me strangely. What gossip column you been reading?
Lambda told me. I guess we sort of fell in love.
Well, blessings on you. She say when the cat women intended to try the little game?
As soon as they get all the information they need about the ship. Someone of them was supposed to work on Walt and someone else on Laird.
Huh? On Laird? Laird? Where have you been? Never mind that. We're just curious to know what you two lovebirds have been talking about.
Don't tell him.
Why not? Afraid you'd be very much disappointed. We were just talking shop. Anything wrong with that?
No, not a thing. Except the cat women are out to steal our ship, and Helen's tied body and soul to them.
That's a lie.
I resent that, Kip. What's your evidence?
Well, for one thing, Doug got the dope from little Lambda.
Oh.
For another, Helen told me herself. We were out on the terrace,
No.
and she told me to hold her tight. Not to kiss her, but just to hold her hand.
Let go of my hand!
Not this time, baby.
Oh, thank you, Kip. Thank you.
Now, let's set the record straight. Are you in love with Laird?
No.
Have you been bleeding him for information to pass on to Alpha?
Yes.
And who do you really love?
You.
You take your...
Don't let go!
Laird! Stop! Stop! Laird! Laird! Stop it! Stop! You want to put her back under Alpha's spell? Helen, where is she? Helen!
Doug, they're on their way. I couldn't stop them.
Who?
Helen, Alpha, and Beta. Just the three of them. They're going to steal a rocket ship.
Why did they take two more of your people?
They didn't want to for one thing. They couldn't for another. I hid out two of the spacesuits.
In that case, we're still in business, provided we can stop them before they reach the ship. Who goes with me?
Doug.
Let's go.
There comes a time when you can't find it in the book. I know that now.
How much head start do you think they have? Too much, unless something holds them up.
Lambda,
Would you leave me?
but you turned against us.
How could I? It was a moment of weakness. Wait for me here and I'll get another suit and join you.
It's a trap. Come on.
I won't let you go. Helen, look at me. My will is as strong as theirs. They'll kill you as they've killed Walt. Stay here.
You will come with us.
Don't listen. Stand firm.
Doug, the cat women are dead. Helen's all right.
And as for you, young man, what's done is done. Is your radio okay?
It's okay, sir.
Contact White Sands. Tell them we're coming in.
Moon Rocket 4 calling White Sands. Moon Rocket 4 calling White Sands. Come in. You hear me, White Sands?
What? Who? White Sands to Moon Rocket. Was that you?
Don't blow a gasket, White Sands. We're coming in. Leaving Moon at 0117 your time.
But what happened?
That is a long story. Over to you and out.
Come the hero Ultraman, here he comes from the sky. Ultraman, watch our hero fly. In a superjet he comes from a billion miles away, from a distant planet land. Come the hero
The Science Patrol, ever on the alert to protect mankind. The Scientific Investigation Agency maintains a 24-hour patrol of the Earth, for who knows what mysterious danger may suddenly strike.
Hayata reporting.
Hayata, come in. You sound as if something's wrong. What is it?
I've spotted an unidentified flying object heading east over the Gamori forest.
Stay on it. Don't lose sight of it. Report as soon as you can identify it. And let us know if it changes direction.
Roger.
Take down everything on the tape recorder.
Yes, sir.
The object is flying at a speed of Mach 2. I shall now try to get a closer look at it. Already. You were too late.
up here. A group of young people on a picnic near the lake reported seeing two mysterious flying objects. Both objects have now disappeared from sight.
They're gone?
Not exactly. One of them landed in the lake and then disappeared below the surface.
The other object made a crash landing. There was a ship following it. They collided, and then they both went down in the forest. The other craft couldn't have been a science patrol ship. Science patrol ship.
Those trees are on fire.
I couldn't make that out. I couldn't hear you. Did you say they crashed?
Yes, the mysterious object and the ship.
Fuji, Radio Hayata, get as close as you can. Look for survivors.
Science Patrol headquarters calling
I certainly
Hayata.
hope it's Hayata.
Come in, Hayata. Come in, Hayata. Hayata, can you hear us? This is Science Patrol headquarters calling Hayata. Come in, Hayata. Come in, Hayata.
And report in just as soon as you're able.
Hayata. Science Patrol headquarters calling Hayata. Hayata, can you read us? Calling Hayata. Come in, Hayata. 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 Can you hear us? Can you hear us? Come in, Hayata. Won't you please answer? Calling
Let's
Hayata.
go, men.
Look!
Science Patrolman Hayata. I am Ultraman. I am from the nebula M78, beyond the 40th galaxy. I was taking the radioactive monster Babylon to M90 for disposal when it escaped and headed for Earth. I pursued it even when it entered your atmosphere. It was then that our ships crashed. There is only one way I can repay you for the terrible thing I have done to you. I shall give you my life. You and I will become one, and we will fight as one for the peace of the earth for all time. You'll remain in your present form as Hayata. But now, take this beta capsule